Can we get a big Beasley Media Group welcome to Stone Country Records recording artist, Spencer Hatcher.
Thank you all. Thank you.
So this is almost a home game for you, being from Virginia. Good to have you in the home region. You know, there's a couple of ways that you can get into this business. You can do the grind for years, and you've done that. Mm-hmm. You can do the social media thing, and it happens kind of overnight. And you've done that. It's kind of interesting that you're the best of both worlds. What's your first memory of playing music in public?
Ooh, my first one in public. It would probably be jam sessions. That was something that I worked myself up to. I started off in bluegrass music, and when I picked up the banjo, I'd been playing the mandolin at 8 years old, and then when I turned
you just
12,
have one of those laying around the house?
Well, no, I had to go get one.
Okay.
But I wanted to get into bluegrass, and then when I was 12 years old, I picked up the banjo, and I loved it so much, I said, well, I want to start getting some exposure with it. So I went to a jam session where there was probably like 30 people in a room, and that was what I spent my Friday nights doing from like 12 to 17 years old. Was in a room just jamming bluegrass music to a bunch of other instrumentalists and some audience members, and that was the first exposure I ever had to a live audience, I guess.
So you did that, you played with your family, grinding with the band for a while. There was a movie, it's been 15 years ago now, with Gwyneth Paltrow and Tim McGraw called Country Strong. Mm-hmm. And there was a song in there that Garrett Hedlund sang called Timing is Everything. And in a weird way, as I look back now 5 years, the COVID-19 pandemic was an interesting timing is everything mechanism for a lot of artists, including you, in that there were no live shows. But on the other hand, with TikTok and social media, there was this captive audience. And you had one of these stories where you put out a song and you had a few people that liked you, and then you woke up the next morning and it all went boom. Tell me about that.
Was that cover of Folsom Prison Blues?
It was, yes, ma'am. Yeah, it was pretty incredible. I mean, I'd just come back home. I'd graduated college. I was just trying to figure everything out, and I said, well, while even Walmarts are still shut down, I would just sing a song and post it and see what happens. And it only took me 5, and that 5th video went viral. It did about 1.5 million views overnight. And when I went to sleep, I had 24 followers. When I woke up, I had just over 10,000. And that was the moment where the phone started ringing, and I started going out and performing. It was a month later. Now, it's true, live shows weren't really happening, but it's probably because you didn't hear about them, because they told me. They said, we want you to come out here to our bar or honky tonk, or our very first show was just a tiny little pizza joint. And they said, you can't tell anybody. They're like, you can't market it because we'll get in trouble by the fire department. So they said, just come out and just like maybe tell your friends and just see who all shows up. And it wound up being about 50 people or so. It was a pretty decent first show, and we wound up going on to doing about 20 shows like that in August of 2020 from that very first one.
So that was 10,000 followers overnight.
Yes, sir.
When did it get to the point, like from 10,000, what was the next time that you went, oh gosh?
Well, it was interesting. The second video the follow-up video to that also went viral for me. I did a Garth Brooks song, Friend in Low Places.
I had heard of it.
Yeah, right. Nobody has. And that one took off as well. And so it took like 2 videos. The back-to-backs probably put me at around 20 to 25,000 followers over the course of a 4-day span or so. And then I just kept on building it. And then I realized I'd never seen a bluegrass video on TikTok. So I said, I'm probably going to get judged pretty hard for this, but I really don't care. And I said, I'm going to play some bluegrass. And so then I brought bluegrass to TikTok, and everything I posted just blew up, multi-million views. And
like
had a lot of fun.
Crazy bluegrass army just waiting to be.
Yeah,
started.
people were like, well, there was a lot of people didn't know what bluegrass was. They'd never even heard of it, and they're like, I don't know what this is, but I love it. And so, and that was in like, I would have done that first video probably in October, November of 2020. And so it was just an explosion. I mean, it didn't take long. I believe my first video was August 7th, and by late September, I just hit the 100,000 follower mark.
Wow. Well, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention, this is your brother.
It is. This is my younger brother, Connor.
And you are a strong believer in miracles, and there's a good reason why. Tell us about what
Yes, ma'am.
happened right before you got your record deal.
Well, I took a pretty nasty fall off my roof. I was on a ladder on a roof, which already everybody's probably like, well, that probably wasn't a good idea. But I'd done it many, many times before. And in the country, you know, I didn't grow up where you call somebody if something needed fixing. You just get up there and you fix it. And so I was heading up to the top of my chimney. I was going to fix the flashing around my chimney. And I was about halfway up the ladder, and it was sitting on a metal roof, and it just shot out from under me. There was nothing I could hold on to but the ladder, so me and the ladder both fell over 26 feet, and I landed on my back, but my head never touched the ground, which is almost physically impossible. And if people would see exactly how I fell, I landed on rock, a rock slab on my back, and it was like 185 pounds falling 26 feet. It's almost impossible. Now, I did get hurt, and I had to be airlifted, but a nurse, a 20-year nurse in the trauma care unit said, Spencer, I want you to know that in all my 20 years, you are in the top 3 most lucky I've ever seen. She said, your chances of survival at 26 feet and falling on your back was like 2%. Wow. He said, you had a 2% chance of living today. And she said, here you are. She said, God is real, and you've got a lot of angels around you.
What'd you get off your lazy butt and get back up? And
Sure did. Yeah, I did. No, I will say I did have to call somebody to come fix it then. So.
Maybe heard flashing in chimneys. She's thinking Charlie would literally be flashing people. So, the chimney. Hey, we'll get you out of here on this. You got lots of great music to play. It's really interesting to us as we were listening to your music coming in, how refreshing it is to hear something old. Old is new again.
Yes, sir.
And I think we all sort of get in a rut, and we love all kinds of country music, but you get in a rut of hearing the way production is today as compared to what it was, and all of a sudden your music comes on and you're like, oh wow, that's an actual live person playing drums. Oh wow, that's a bass player, and they're keeping a rhythm section. Oh, there's a pedal steel. And it's just very, very cool to hear George Strait circa 1983,
Yeah.
1984
Wow. It's a treat
being
for
done
us.
again. So it's really, really great. I hope all of you enjoy this. This is Spencer Hatcher. He's amazing.
Thank y'all. Thank you so much. That's kind of makes me feel good. Well, I figure what I'd like to do is sing an unreleased song for you all. You can't get it anywhere else. We've recorded it, and we're very excited for it. But it'll come out next year. But I'll let you all have the first listen to it. And it's kind of like George Jones's I believe 1956. He did one called Love Bug. And then George Strait in the 80s picked it up, and it was a hit both times. And this is kind of like my version of that, but it's called Love Button. Well, I'm the kind of guy that don't let a lot of things get to me. I take it all in stride and let it all slide off easily. But girl, what you're doing has got me losing my self-control. I'm about to get out of hand, that's all I can stand, I can't take much more. Oh, you're pushing my love button, you're doing all the right things. All this kissing and a hugging is tugging on my old heartstrings. Yeah, you're pushing my love button, gotta know what you're putting me through. Well, you're flipping my switches, got me falling in love with you. Well, you're the kind of girl could get a man's world turning way too fast. Got me wishing and a praying you're not just playing and it's gonna last. Just when I think I've had all I can handle and I'm wearing thin, I see that look in your eyes and it's no surprise, there you go again. Oh, you're pushing my love button, and you're doing all the right things. All this kissing and a hugging is tugging on my old heartstrings. Yeah, you're pushing my love button, gotta know what you're putting me through. Well, you're flipping my switches, got me falling in love with you. Well, they call me the fireman, and that's my name. I'm making my rounds all over town, putting out old flames. Well, everybody like to have what I got. Yeah, I can cool them down when they're smoldering hot. I'm the fireman, that's my name. Yeah, you're pushing my love button. Girl, you're doing all the right things. Always kissing and hugging, just tugging on my old heartstrings. Yeah, you're pushing my love button. You gotta know what you're putting me through. Where you're flipping my switches, got me falling in love with you. Where you're flipping my switches, got me falling in love with you. Thank you very much. Thank you. An unreleased song there. Well, now I'd like to, I'll just do my latest single for you all. This is one that has been really good to me right out the gate. I've gotten to, of course, perform it live. People love it, and it's doing great on streaming, and I hear lots of really great things about this song, and so it really makes me feel good to know that we're putting something out that the people really love. And at the live shows too, one of my most favorite things is when I can look out in the audience and they're singing every single word to it. So this is one of those songs for me, and I'm very proud of it, and I hope that you all enjoy it. It's one called When She Calls Me Cowboy. When she calls me baby and we're all alone, well, that's a good sign. What's on her mind is getting close. And when she calls me darling, all wrapped up in my arms, and we're dancing in the kitchen candlelight, I can feel her coming on, one kiss, one song at a time. But when she calls me cowboy, lets her hair fall down, boy, she gets that look in her eye, says I better hold on tight. It's gonna be a good night. When she turns out the lights, that's her way of saying I need you right now, boy. Yeah, when she calls me cowboy. That wild little smile of hers knows how to rope me in. She can knock me right out of my boots with one touch of her hand. She comes walking down the hall, my old resist on, and not much of anything else. There ain't no question why I call her mine, I can't help myself. But when she calls me cowboy, lets her hair fall down, boy, she gets that look in her eye, says I better hold on tight. It's gonna be a good night. When she turns out the lights, that's her way of saying I need you right now, boy. Oh, when she calls me cowboy. Yeah, when she calls me cowboy, lets her hair fall down low, she gets that look in her eye, says I better hold on tight. It's gonna be a good night. When she turns out the lights, that's her way of saying I need you right now, boy.
Oh, when she calls me cowboy. Yeah, when she calls me cowboy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.